More than 25 years of waiting, Sabe King and his family are finally home.
So happy to come and live in Canada.
For years, he and dozens of others have been stuck in Thailand, stateless, after fleeing Vietnam.
It's very difficult and not enough food and not enough education.
For years, King's refugee claims were denied. His family only now able to make their way to Canada because of a special arrangement between the federal government and Thailand to bring the last of the Vietnamese boat people to Canada.
People helped me when we first landed to Canada, so I think this is kind of
Paying it back?
Yeah, pay back to them.
The Kings will live in Canada thanks in part to sponsors David Hun and his wife, who made the journey from Vietnam to Canada themselves years ago.
My aunt and my uncle.
There are more boat people still living in Thailand. By the end of this year, this arrangement will see 105 of them granted status here in Canada.
So, it's time for me to take over and carry that burden.
James Wynn is helping facilitate the sponsorships. He arrived in Canada when he was just 6 years old after fleeing Vietnam in a boat with his family. It's taken 7 years for this arrangement to be realized today. The first Vietnamese refugees started to make their way to Canada in the years following the Vietnam War. Canada has since welcomed tens of thousands of Vietnamese refugees to this country. 13 of the Vietnamese who arrived today will settle here in Toronto. One is off to Ottawa. What are King and his family looking forward to? New jobs, school, and of course, their very first white Christmas.
Yeah, very different from Thailand, from Vietnam.
And Neil, I can tell you that the next group of those Vietnamese refugees are expected to arrive here in Canada and make their new homes here in Toronto by the end of the month. A third and final group will make their journey here to Toronto and elsewhere across the country in another few months. Reporting live at Pearson Airport, I'm Chelsea Agro.